how to calm a highly sensitive nervous system. All these bizarre, weird sensations and symptoms you've never experienced. Your doctor does a series of tests, says everything is fine. You might have tried talk therapy. You might have done inner child work, and yet you're still experiencing these symptoms. And if you've been watching this channel, you understand that we talk about your nervous system being sensitized, and this is why you're experiencing the symptoms. I want to talk to you about how to calm down a nervous system. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shaan. We help people around the world overcome their symptoms. Now, if you're new to the channel, or if you're not really sure how the mechanics of anxiety works, why you're experiencing these symptoms, what to do to make them go away, I'll put a link down below to a Desensitization Blueprint. After helping thousands of people around the world, we've basically came up with our own methodologies and really created a blueprint to help you understand why you're experiencing these symptoms, understand the mechanics of anxiety, and what to do to make this go away, and also how to monitor your progress. I recommend download the blueprint first, try it for yourself. If you can recover on your own, great. If you need additional help, that's why we're here. It's important to understand that when you're experiencing these panic attacks, these intrusive thoughts, you might be thinking, okay, well, if it's all part of a nervous system being sensitized or being highly sensitive, I need to calm down my nervous system. Calming down the nervous system isn't an active approach, meaning you don't do anything to calm the nervous system down. The nervous system calms down on its own. Now you might be thinking, okay, Shaan, how does the nervous system calm down on its own? You can go for walks, you can do breathing exercises, you can do visualization, but they're not going to be very effective. And chances are you've already tried it and you can see for yourself, it's not really effective. It's effective if you do a few things first, and I'll mention that, but it's important that you understand that it's not a substitute for what I'm about to share with you. It's important to ask yourself, why are you experiencing these symptoms? See, what happens is that when people don't know why they're experiencing the symptoms, the brain will automatically label it as a threat. Without a doubt, these symptoms are uncomfortable, right? You don't need me to tell you that. Your mind knows also that they're uncomfortable. But when your brain doesn't know why it's happening, not only is it uncomfortable, but it's dangerous. Because they don't know, they naturally build up fear towards it. If you're having heart palpitations, you think, oh, it's an onset of a heart attack. I was having a lot of digestive issues when I was struggling with anxiety. So I thought maybe I have Crohn's disease, maybe I have celiac, or maybe some sort of inflammatory bowel disease. And these symptoms are uncomfortable. And they're all a consequence of a highly sensitive nervous system. And so the answer to overcoming this isn't by trying to calm the nervous system down by doing things like going out for walks or, visualizations or meditations or those things. The first thing is education. And that's why that blueprint is so important. Because that blueprint really shows you why you're experiencing the symptoms, and it demystifies a lot of the fear. Once you know that these symptoms are all a side effect of a highly sensitive nervous system, well, is it still going to be uncomfortable? Yeah. Are you still not going to like it? Yeah. Are you going to fear it as much? That's the question. Well, you're not going to fear it as much because, well, you know what it is. And what happens is that you're more willing to allow the symptoms to be there. The whole idea of understanding and education is so that you stop adding more fuel into the fire. You stop adding more fear. The second part, you might notice we mention this a lot, which is acceptance, right? Accepting your symptoms. Now, what happens is a lot of people try to accept their symptoms in order to make it go away. So they're like, okay, well, I'm dealing with heart palpitations or I'm dealing with back pain. So what I need to do is I need to accept it. Okay, I'm accepting it. Is it still there? Is it gone? That's not acceptance. The purpose of acceptance is for you to recognize that what you're doing isn't working. It's not just acceptance of your symptoms. It's acceptance of your situation. That everything you've done to fight it, to fix it, you fearing it, you getting frustrated by it, you focusing on it, doesn't work. So acceptance, for once, makes you stop doing this compulsive act of trying to fix it. And then, if you can accept it correctly, you can recognize that your approach has been wrong all along. Your approach has been trying to fix the symptoms and then live life. But maybe recovery is not about trying to fix the symptom and go back to living. It's living and having the symptoms go away on their own. It's recognizing that if you just let the symptoms burn itself out without trying to fear it, without trying to fight it, without trying to fix it, that this is all just a consequence of a highly sensitive nervous system. And look, people that are watching this channel, they've gone to their doctor several times. And what they find is that, there's no solution. Well, the solution is that once you've gotten everything ruled out, it's a highly sensitive nervous system. And so calming down the nervous system happens on its own as you understand what's happening. You begin learning how to accept not just your symptoms, but your situation. And then 3, recognizing that you trying to fix the symptoms is causing more pressure. You're not calming the nervous system down, you're actually adding more fuel. It's recognizing you don't need to do anything about this. We just need to let it be there. You need to let it pass. And while it's passing, that doesn't mean you resign from living life. Live life. It'll resign on its own. And as long as you don't add that fear, you don't add that pressure, the nervous system calms down on its own. That's key. People think you need to do something to calm down. You don't do anything to calm down. We stop doing the thing that's perpetuating the cycle. The nervous system calms down on its own. This is key. When people are resisting their symptoms, they're fighting it. They feel like their symptoms are holding them back in life. They feel like they're never going to get out of this because they've been struggling with this for weeks, months, years. Having them understand these principles does not happen easily. It takes time. And it has to be repeated over and over and over and over again. This is why I always sound like a broken record. Find somebody that knows what's going on to help you on the journey. If you think recovery is just some piece of advice that you're missing, that one phrase that will change everything, you're going to have a very difficult time. Because you're going to be looking at recovery based on your own expectations. And here's what's going to happen. You're going to go to one person. They're going to tell you something. You might feel better for a bit. Then symptoms are going to go back. Then you're going to try something else. You might feel a little bit better. Then symptoms are going to come back. Then you're going to be doing it again and again and again. And then each time you're doing it, you're going to feel more and more discouraged. When only if you just understood that it's not a saying, it's not a phrase, it's practice. And it takes time to grasp these principles. The whole purpose of knowledge is to point you in the right direction. Knowledge itself won't heal you. Acceptance alone won't heal you too. What acceptance does, it stops creating more problems. Feeling like a victim feels good. Feeling like this is happening to you feels a little good. And so saying, hey, this is happening to you, but it's also happening by you at the same time, accepting that is a tough pill to swallow. And look, I've helped people around the world. You think they want to know the truth. You tell them the truth. You say things that, is very, that's true, but can also feel very confronting at the same time. People react different ways. And so acceptance is helping you understand that, hey, you're accepting your situation. You're accepting the fact that what you've done isn't working. Now you're more receptive to focusing on the solution. But you can't focus on the solution if you don't accept your current situation for what it is. And you can't accept your current situation if you don't know what's happening. And so recognize that calming your nervous system happens on its own. You don't have to do anything active. It's not like your nervous system is always on and you have to do something to suppress it and calm it down. It's actually the opposite. It happens as a consequence of knowing what's happening, accepting your situation, practicing the response. So I hope this video helps. If you want to know more about the overview of recovery, the 5 steps to healing, make sure to check out this video up here. I'll see you guys in the next one.